Well, if you know a veteran or an active duty military person that needs to express themselves, whether it's through their experiences that they've had in the military, or the emotions, everything that builds up sometimes in a person who has served our country, and they just can't get the words out right. Well, there is a perfect opportunity for them to do that. It is a free writing workshop for the military. It's called the Nebraska Warrior Writers Workshop. And here to talk a little bit more about that, I am so glad to introduce my next guest, Dr. Robert Brook. He is from the University of Nebraska English Department. And also Erica Hamilton, she is the she is the Director of Literary Programs at Humanities Nebraska. Thank you both for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
Well, this
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This is an important topic. When I got the press release, Erica, I'll start with you, and I thought, a writing workshop for veterans, what is this all about? But when I kept reading about it, I thought, you know, this is something that really is a way, I think, for veterans, and you've worked with them closer. Tell me what they're expressing when they go to these writing workshops and realize, gosh, this is really a great outlet for me.
Yeah, well, I think I found a quote from one of our participants that I think answers your question pretty well. He said, "Warrior Writers showed me what it takes to be a writer. It's a safe haven full of support." So we use facilitators from the Nebraska Writing Project that Robert Brook works with to help the veterans explore how to express their feelings and their experiences in writing. But they're doing poetry, novels, essays, all of that.
Wow.
But it's also they're all veterans or families of veterans, and so they feel safe with each other to express what they've experienced.
And that is so important, Professor Brook, when we're talking about expressing, you know, ourselves, whatever it is we do in life. And tell us a little bit about the establishment of the Nebraska Writing Project, which is kind of your project. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, the Writing Project's been here in the state since 1974, and our work with the Warrior Writers program started within the last decade. And this is an outreach program with Humanities Nebraska to the veterans across the state. We use our teacher facilitators, folk who have experienced lots of work with students of all sorts, to run the program, and then we invite in area writers to present every week for the program. But the real core of the program is the veterans themselves sharing their writing with each other in small groups, which is something the Writing Project's done for all ages, all across the time. So the veterans will tell us that they will write sometimes about their war experience, but more often about the things that are important to them right now going on in their lives. And I think that's a very shaping force, and they get good advice and good leadership for that.
Mm-hmm. And to both of you, I think, you know, when you write something like this, it can be very personal, like you just said, but the fact that they take that next step and they get it published, I mean, what a feeling of, wow, I did it, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, we published this anthology called From Warriors to Warrior Writers, Journeys to Healing. And it's full of work that was written by our participants who wrote it either during the workshop or as part of the prompt of the workshop. And we had a launch party for it where we had quite a few of the writers joined. You know, Dr. Brook spoke. We had several of them reading from their work. And it was just so much fun to see them come together and celebrate what they have written, to share it with people really from throughout the state, and then sign their books as a published author.
Wow, that's really, you know, hats off to them. And Professor, is there anything that ever surprises you about the veterans when they start writing?
The veterans are a really great group. And Tom Seib, our lead facilitator for the Lincoln group, says they feel like a family together as they're doing this kind of work, which I think is really impressive for me. For me, the difference between teaching with adults who write is that long-standing connection that you make over time. So it's a really supportive thing, rather than in a university class where it's just every they come and go every semester. So I think that's the biggest surprise, is the camaraderie that has happened over the years.
And that camaraderie and friendship and that bond is so very important. These workshops will be going through May, both in Lincoln and Omaha, and anyone from the state can join in. So Erica, as we wrap up here quickly, tell us how veterans watching may sign up or get more information.
Yeah, well, they can check our website at humanitiesnebraska.org and look for Nebraska Warrior Writers, and that has information about our Lincoln and Omaha programs, who to contact, and then if they email either Tom Seib or Jen Stastny, and for instance, if they live in Kearney, Grand Island, Minden, Scotts Bluff, they can participate by Zoom. And we do have several
good to know.
writers who participate by Zoom.
Well, that's great to know. We're going to put the information on our website as well. Professor Brooke and Erica, thank you for reaching out to the people that need the help the most when expressing themselves, and through writing is a great way to do it. So we appreciate your time sharing with us this morning.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for inviting us.
You're very welcome. And friends, we'll be back with more Good Life. Don't go away.